Access to water is a human right, yet 2.2 billion live without safely managed drinking water services, with devastating impacts for their lives and wider society. Water is also at the heart of adaptation to climate change, serving as the crucial link between the climate system, human society, and the environment. Without proper water governance, there is likely to be increased competition for water between sectors and an escalation of water crises of various kinds, triggering emergencies in a range of water-dependent sectors. Today is World Water Day, and this year's focus is on glacier preservation, a crucial issue as melting glaciers threaten the global water supply, agriculture, and ecosystems. With rising concerns about water security and climate change, the need for sustainable water management has never been more urgent. Joining us now is the Akwa Ibom State's Honorable Commissioner for Water Resources and Sanitation, who is going to shed light on the state's strategies for sustainable water management, adoption to climate change.
There was a time in the history of this state that water was merged with politics. That's when water was sent to the Bureau for Political and Legislative Affairs and water. And you begin to imagine what water has to do with political and legislative affairs. Then, of the recent past, water was also merged with the Ministry of Lands. Now we can understand. They say, okay, we have land resources, so water resources can also come there. But you know that before now, you have water department in the Ministry of Agriculture. You have water department in Ministry of the then Ministry of Rural Development, and you have Department of Water in various segments because of the importance of water. If you go to education, you see water because those children, the student our people needs water. If you go to health, there is a department for waterborne diseases and water and all of that. So you now see that the evolution of Ministry of Water Resources had been very, very interesting. And today we are here.
He highlighted the major challenges in providing clean and safe drinking water, noting that water contamination poses serious public health risks. The Commissioner addressed how poor sanitation contributes to the spread of diseases and outlined measures that can be taken to improve sanitation systems.
For you to enjoy good health that God gives, you must be clean. If your environment is not clean, you are prone to fall sick regularly. If I don't even talk about the waterborne diseases, that like malaria, like diarrhea. Today, one of the most common sicknesses that you have is typhoid fever, which is also a waterborne disease. You understand? So if our waters are not clean and safe, our people will be prone to having that. And you also hear a lot, most often at the time, people having malaria. What happens? The environment is maybe waterlogged, and it now creates an avenue for mosquito to breed. So by the time mosquito breeds and get to feed on you, definitely they pass those parasites and you have malaria. So by the time you don't have a clean environment, you don't have clean water, malaria is hitting you here, typhoid is hitting you there. That's why most people they say, I went to the hospital, they didn't carry out a test. Yes, they say I have malaria and typhoid. So that is a parameter to show that the environment that person stays is not clean, and the water the person is drinking is not also safe. So that alone should tell you the importance of keeping our environment clean and drinking clean water.
Dr. Ubo also shared the ministry's progress towards achieving the UN Sustainable Development Goal, SDG, on clean water, detailing ongoing policies and projects.
The greatest thing that he has done to the people of Akwa Ibom State as far as the provision of water is concerned, is bringing all of the departments together to form a stand-alone ministry. You now see that all the energies of government is now focused, has a direction as far as the provision of water is concerned. All the various water departments in all those MPS have all been brought together to form this ministry. And you see that it takes more than a willpower to do that. That is the first step. You can see that within the short period that this ministry was established, His Excellency had already embarked on about 11 solar-powered water projects, one per federal constituency across the state. And some have been commissioned, and very soon others will be commissioned. And he decided to take these water projects to areas that have not had water before, difficult terrain. For instance, in Itungu also, that we used to have colored water. Today, they are enjoying clean water because of Excellency Governor. So that's a very big achievement.
On this year's theme, glacier preservation, he described how protecting glaciers can help mitigate the global water crisis and combat climate change.
Now, because the world is gradually getting heated up, it's affecting these glaciers. And if they get melted, that means the volume of water in circulation will increase. That can lead to overflowing of our river banks. That can lead to flooding and other ecological problems like that. So there is need for us to preserve them.
The theme glacier preservation, I think, is coming at a very timely moment because we are a bit careless in the way we handle our water resources. For instance, let me talk about boreholes in particular. We find situations that we just dig borehole and get to the level that we want. We don't mind where the height that borehole has. And then we now have the effects of the climate change, like this glacier preservation we are talking about. The effect it will have this way is increased in volume of water. So we are prone to flooding because of the climate change. And then the increase in water volume comes, and most boreholes are submerged, affecting the quality of water and the standard of water. So for us in Akwa Ibom, we need to educate our people that this is what we are facing, and we are going to be very intentional and particular about checking the quality and standard of both the production of water and the preservation of it as against the climate change we are anticipating.
Glacier preservation. It is a call for everyone to step up activities towards preserving the water resources that we have in the environment, and then also to try as much as possible to align the availability of water resources with the climate change activities over the climate change that we have recently globally. And so talk about issues of flooding as a result of glacier movements, talk about issues of drought, and as a result of climate changes also pertaining to glaciers. And so the whole essence is to narrow down the synergy between all the stakeholders in water resources management and exploration towards ensuring that our climate is safe, our environment is also safe, and the little water resources we have are available for the well-being of human and also for agriculture and other industrial usage.
While the government continues to implement policies aimed at economic recovery, Nigerians are hoping for practical solutions that will bring relief and foster long-term growth. Water is life, and as we mark the 2025 World Water Day, preserving our water resources, both globally and locally, must remain a top priority. The conversation on glacier preservation and climate action doesn't end today. It requires continuous efforts from policymakers, communities, and individuals alike. Let's all play a part in securing water for the future. For Spectrum Television, Wangfun Water.